Good morning. It is 9:06 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? My name's Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by our friends at Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners. You get those at betterwater.com. We got Mason Fleming producing, who's top notch. We got Joan Jones in the newsroom, also top of the line, and we got a big show for you today. Lots of information becoming available as we speak via Tulsi Gabbard. She promised that she was going to be bringing new receipts today, and she has delivered this morning. We'll get to that momentarily. We'll begin with the remarks from Donald Trump last night. Donald Trump was holding reception with members of Congress before they go on recess. Yes, more vacation for members of Congress, and we'll talk about that later in the show as well. No Epstein vote before they go on vacation, but just, okay, great. But they're holding this big reception last night. Tulsi Gabbard is in attendance. Donald Trump remarking on what I think is the biggest news story of the day, President Barack Obama and his treasonous conspiracy that was executed in the aftermath of the 2016 election. Donald Trump giving a nod to Tulsi Gabbard, saying she may be the most popular person in the room at the moment. This is last night in D.C.
Director of National Intelligence. Oh, where's Tulsi? She's like hotter than everybody. She's the hottest one in the room right now because she found out with certainty. I think we knew it before, in all fairness, Tulsi, but now you have certainty. She has all the documents. She has everything that you need. And she found out that Barack Hussein Obama led a group of people and they cheated in the elections, and they cheated without question. It's not even a quote. Would you say there's even a little question there, Tulsi? She says no. And you found things that nobody thought we'd ever find. And I'm very happy and very honored to have you with us. She's right now, by far, Speaker, she's hotter than you right now, Speaker. She's the hottest person in the room right now, Speaker. So, Tulsi, great job. And I know you have a lot more coming. She told me you've seen nothing yet. So I heard those rumors about you, but now I know they're true. So we're very proud of you, Tulsi. They cheated so badly, and ultimately it led to a loss in 2020, and it shouldn't have been a loss. It was a big victory. We won by a lot. We had to do it again. But if I thought we lost, I would never have run again. And this is a far more consequential election than it would have been if we did. That's the only thing I can say in favor of it. But
I mean, listen, with everything that we're learning, and granted, what Trump said is right. You know, we've known a lot of this for a long time, but with the receipts coming from Tulsi Gabbard and the confirmations, this is a massive story. It's a massive story. I do think we're in a far different place than we were in 2020 had we won that election. If we were going through this process in 2021, I don't think Trump has the political clout to do anything about it. I think that has completely changed, especially given what we've seen Donald Trump be put through. The lawsuits, the mugshots, the Mar-a-Lago raid, the court cases. I mean, over and over and over again, they tried to put him away with 30-something felonies, 34 felonies. The man wouldn't stop. And now I do think that he has a lot of runway to do what needs to be done and hold these treasonous officials accountable. And let's make no mistake about it. It's treasonous what they did. The Obama camp, I think they're nervous, and they've been very quiet. Mainstream media has been very quiet about this, too. But probably because they feel like they're complicit. And, well, spoiler alert, they are. But the Obama campaign, the Obama spokesperson, the camp, excuse me, they had their spokesperson send out an official statement, which is shocking to see an official statement. I didn't expect that myself, but we got one. And in the wake of President Trump calling Barack Obama guilty of treason, they put out this statement. Out of respect for the office of the presidency, our office does not normally dignify the constant nonsense and misinformation flowing out of this White House with a response. But these claims are outrageous enough to merit one. These bizarre allegations are ridiculous and a weak attempt at a distraction, the office said in a statement. Oof. You see the meme where the guy puts his hand? He's like, it's scared. It's scared. I feel like that's what we're seeing. They say nothing in the document issued last week undercuts the widely accepted conclusion that Russia worked to influence the 2016 presidential election but did not successfully manipulate any votes. These findings were affirmed in a 2020 report by the Bipartisan Senate Intelligence Committee led by then-Chairman Marco Rubio. What they always leave out with the Rubio statement is that he was going off of the altered intelligence reports by the Obama administration. All he had to work with was the falsified intelligence. And that's what's being alleged here. You falsified intelligence to get these FISA warrants ready to go, then spy on the campaign before and after the election. You falsified intelligence. That's really what the crux of all this is. And, Tulsi is on, I think she was on Fox News last night. This is yesterday after the Obama team statement comes out. And Tulsi's asked about the Obama statement, and she says, "Well, the Obama statement's great, right? Well, it's awesome. Everybody loves it. It's great, but it doesn't exactly answer all the questions. The Obama statement doesn't address the pre and post election switch on that Russian interference information, because there was a clear switch pre-election and post-election." Tulsi Gabbard last night.
This is the thing that I think people should pay attention to, is neither the message from President Obama's office, neither the statements coming from Democrats in Congress today and their friends in the propaganda media, none of them are addressing this fact that there was a shift, a 180-degree shift from the intelligence community's assessment leading up to the election to the one that President Obama directed be produced after Donald Trump won the election, that completely contradicted those assessments that had come previously. The second thing I want to address that's very important, Laura, is that you in the clip that you played, you saw John Brennan, James Clapper, James Comey stated with high confidence this January intelligence community assessment that they drafted at the direction of President Obama. The fact is that they used already discredited information like the Steele dossier. They knew it was discredited at that time, yet they used it as a source for this document that they claim to have high confidence in. They used intelligence that some of these intelligence community professionals rejected previously because of the lack of credibility and the lack of the ability to vet with any kind of confidence whether or not that information or intelligence was accurate and could be used for an assessment. There's a long laundry list of facts and intelligence reporting that directly contradict the statement coming from President Obama's office and those who are trying to deflect away from what actually happened, which was after Donald Trump was elected, led by President Obama, there was an effort to create a document that would serve as a foundation for what would be a years-long coup against President Trump, therefore trying to subvert the will of the American people who sent him to the White House in 2016.
And what word would you use to describe that? Maybe it starts with a T, ends with a reason. I mean, you understand why the Obama camp is biting their nails at this moment. You can absolutely understand that. You can also understand why there's a large portion of the MAGA audience who says nothing is going to happen, because we feel like we've had this kind of hope and rug pull over and over and over again. I'm feeling more hopeful now than I have in the past, to be perfectly honest with you. Still not entirely sure that something's going to come of this, but it does seem like Tulsi Gabbard is not taking her foot off the gas. She says that the Obama camp is deflecting and they're pointing in different directions. Well, they've been doing this for years. Flashback to October of 2020. Obama, during an interview, I think this interview was with the Associated Press, if I recall correctly. He's doing an interview, some podcast, and he calls the Spygate allegations absurd. He's been deflecting this stuff for a very, very long time. But the difference is, in the light of the new documents, you can say that the lies from the Obama camp aren't exactly aging well.
Trump keeps tweeting that the Attorney General should indict you or indict Vice President Biden for spying on his campaign. The allegation is absurd. It's false. It's seemingly part of just his general rage at any discussion of Russian interference in the 2016 campaign.
The allegations are so absurd that even Republican-controlled committees, looking into it, have dismissed them. And, Attorney General Barr has dismissed them. But, this is an example, I think, of a larger problem. Well, two larger problems, which don't get as much attention, understandably, when you've got high unemployment and a pandemic raging, because it doesn't touch people's day-to-day lives. But one of the central foundation stones of a democracy is the idea that you do not allow the politicization of the criminal justice system, the intelligence system, the military, right? That is stuff that you keep out of politics.
Yet it was the Obama campaign administration camp that politicized all of that, and we saw it in the aftermath of the 2020 election. Now, the Obama team, they refused to publish the December 19th, 2016 presidential daily brief, and that was the one that showed Russia didn't steal the election for Trump. And one of the reasons that they didn't publish that is because, well, Trump would have seen it. As president-elect, he started receiving those president daily briefings on November 15th, 2016. The Obama camp knows that they've been doing shady stuff. They've known for a long time. And these statements that we're getting from them are just, what did Uncle Phil call them? Oh, yeah, bovine scatology. Bovine scatology. Tulsi Gabbard shot back at the statement from the Obama campaign yesterday, saying that you're going to see more documents today. She hasn't disappointed, but this was Tulsi and her analysis of the Obama statement last night on Rob Schmidt's show on, I believe this is Newsmax.
We will be releasing further documents tomorrow that will refute that statement, and I would go back and point to, and we will be pulling a whole host of statements that were made by the Obama administration, by Hillary Clinton, by senior Democrat officials, by their friends in the media that state over and over again after this January 2017 manufactured intelligence document was created, that repeat the narrative. And I'm looking at my notes here. New York Times says Russian hackers acted to aid Trump in the election. Obama's CIA Director John Brennan says there is strong consensus among us to support the CIA claim Russian hackers aided Donald Trump's election. Hillary Clinton said, I would be president if not for the Russian hackers supporting Donald Trump. So there is a vast body of evidence and intelligence that debunks and refutes this statement you've just read and others coming from some of the Democrat leaders in Congress today.
So those statements from Tulsi were last night, and she said that she would be releasing new documents today, and she has not disappointed. This was put out on X just about an hour ago, 8:09 our time. DNI Tulsi Gabbard, the official account DNI Gabbard, saying new evidence has emerged, the most egregious weaponization and politicization of intelligence in American history. Per President real Donald Trump's directive, I have declassified a House Intel Oversight Majority Staff report that exposes how the Obama administration manufactured the January 2017 Intelligence Committee assessment that they knew was false, promoting the lie that Vladimir Putin and the Russian government helped President Trump win the 2016 election. In doing so, they conspired to subvert the will of the American people, working with their partners in the media to promote the lie in order to undermine the legitimacy of President Trump, essentially enacting a years-long coup against him. Here are the top Obama Russian hoax lies debunked by today's release. Lie: Putin and the Russian government helped Trump win the 2016. Truth: President Obama, former director of the CIA John Brennan, and others fabricated the Russian hoax, suppressed intelligence showing Putin was preparing for a Clinton victory, manufactured findings from shoddy sources, disobeyed IC standards, and knowingly lied to the American people. Lie: the fabricated Steele dossier was not used as a source in the Obama administration's January 2017 intelligence community assessment of the November 2016 election. Truth: not only did CIA Director Brennan, FBI Director Comey, DNI Clapper, and others include the Steele dossier in the 2017 intelligence community assessment, they overruled senior intel officials who warned them it was fabricated and should not be used. Lie: the Obama administration's January ICA was an independent intelligence community product produced with political analysis. Tulsi Gabbard says the truth is that Obama ordered the intelligence community to create this intelligence community assessment they knew was false, promoting a contrived narrative with the intent of undermining the legitimacy and power of a duly elected president of the United States, Donald Trump. Together with the ODNI Gov records released on Friday, the Justice Department's 2018 report, known as the Clinton Annex, released earlier this week, and the House Intel Oversight report we released today, confirm what many Americans have known. The Russia hoax was a lie that was knowingly created by the Obama administration to undermine the legitimacy of the power of the duly elected president of the United States, Donald Trump. Obama belongs in prison is the first reply on the thread from Tulsi Gabbard. I think it's absolutely right. If you want to see this entire thread from Tulsi Gabbard, I've retweeted it from my X account. She drops it with all sorts of receipts. You can find it at Chris Hand on Air. Hit the follow button while you're there. I will follow back. But Tulsi Gabbard promising receipts, bringing receipts. The media, wow, cautiously silent on this story. Maybe they're worried about journalistic integrity. Maybe they want to make sure they get all the facts right. They don't want to catch themselves slipping and post another Epstein birthday card from Trump or something like that and find themselves embroiled in another lawsuit. Maybe they're being overly cautious. We'll see. It seems like the media has been very, very quiet on this. Maybe because you can make the argument that the media has been complicit in this. I'll make the argument when we return. It's 9:22 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Bryan Kohberger is being sentenced today, but not before the families of his victims have their say. And President Trump says USA businesses are set to boom with his latest trade deal. We've got those stories coming up here at 9:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Joan Jones in the newsroom. My name's Chris Hand. The show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. Anybody else hear that Christmas in July commercial and think like I could do some Christmas right now?
I could use the cold weather right now. I don't know if I.
Sign me
Amen to
up.
that.
Sign me up.
Yeah, it's like I don't know if I'm ready to start buying gifts yet.
It's hot.
Yeah, it's a little toasty.
I could go for some cocoa weather. I could.
Sledding.
Yeah, a little sledding on the MTSU hill.
Yeah. The
That's
nice
what
thing
we
about Christmas is I could put more layers on.
Yeah.
It only takes so much off the studio right now.
It's always easier to get warmer.
Thank goodness.
I know.
From the one who sits behind you. Sorry.
No, you're good. Very true.
So Tulsi Gabbard promised more evidence today on Obama and Russiagate, and Tulsi Gabbard did not disappoint. She declassified a House Permanent Select Committee on the intelligence report claiming Putin and the Russian government didn't aspire to help Trump win in 2016, showing that later Obama himself ordered a rewrite of that intel to say Putin did aspire to help Trump win. She followed through on these promises this morning, posting more details, more information. You can find the receipts on my Twitter account at Chris Hand on Air, giving more weight to what President Trump said in the Oval Office yesterday.
No, we caught Hillary Clinton, we caught Barack Hussein Obama. They're the ones, and then you have many, many people under them. Susan Rice, they're all there. The names are all there. And I guess they figured they're going to put this in classified information and nobody will ever see it again, but it doesn't work that way. And it's the most unbelievable thing I think I've ever read. So you ought to take a look at that and stop talking about nonsense, because this is big stuff. Never has a thing like this happened in the history of our country. And by the way, it morphed into the 2020 race. And the 2020 race was rigged, and it was a rigged election. And because it was rigged, we have millions of people in our country. We had inflation. We solved the inflation problem. But millions and millions of people came into our country because of that. And people that shouldn't have been, people from gangs and from jails and from mental institutions.
I mean, Trump is absolutely right. The snowball rolling downhill absolutely accumulated and got bigger and bigger and bigger and created a massive mess as Joe Biden stole the 2020 election. Trump is right. The media has been very silent on Tulsi Gabbard and Russiagate, Spygate, and Obama. And you wonder why. And I think that you can point to the fact that they've been complicit in Russiagate, Spygate, whatever you want to call it. They've been absolutely complicit in it. So we're going to show you how the media has been complicit in when we return. Plus, Mike Johnson open to subpoenaing Obama himself. We'll talk about it when we return. It's 9:31. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Good morning. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. With temps above 95 degrees today, the folks at Vanderbilt Children's Hospital tell Channel 4, got to keep an eye on the signs of heat exhaustion in kids.
It might not be as easy as looking at them and saying, ooh, they're really flushed or they're really sweaty. It's probably going to be more likely that they're lethargic.
Yeah, dizziness and nausea, also signs of heat exhaustion in children. Bryan Kohberger sentenced today after admitting guilt in the murder of 4 University of Idaho students in 2022. The families will give victim impact statements during today's proceedings.
It will be quite a moment in court today. Bryan Kohberger, who admits now he killed their children, will be in court, and the family members will get a chance to address him directly. The family of Ethan Chapin says they will not take part in this hearing today. Kohberger will be given the chance to speak before he is sentenced, but Kohberger legally does not have to speak. President Trump has gone on social media demanding that Kohberger be forced to explain his crime, but that's not required. Then Kohberger will get his sentence from Judge Stephen Hippler. Alex Stone, ABC News, Boise, Idaho.
President Trump is touting a new trade deal with Japan, setting tariffs on Japanese imports, including cars. ABC's Mary Bruce.
President Trump announcing what he says is a massive trade deal with Japan, America's 5th largest trading partner.
I just signed the largest trade deal in history. I think maybe the largest deal in history with Japan.
The president posting on social media that Japanese exports to the U.S. will now face a 15% tariff, down from the 25% he previously threatened if Japan didn't make a deal with the U.S.
ABC's Mary Bruce there, the president posting on Truth Social, I will always give up tariff points if I can get major countries to open their markets to the USA. This was another great power of the tariffs. That's the latest news. Weather is up next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here from my friends at the Glock Store. And I got to tell you why the Glock Store is hands down my favorite 2A superstore and why it needs to be yours as well. I'll give you 3 reasons. First up, it's going to be selection. Every single time they have every Glock in stock, and that means every make, every model, every version, up to and including the custom Glocks that are straight up works of art. So we're talking about the laser engraved Trump Glocks. You got to see them to believe them. Second reason you're going to love the Glock Store is the people. The guys that work there just aren't Glock fanatics. They live and breathe this stuff. You can ask them all the questions you want. They love it. Some of the guys even drive down from Kentucky every single day because that's how much they love working at the Glock Store. Third is going to be the customer service. It actually feels like service. I've poked around that store more times than I can tell you, and every single time I'm in there, every single employee greets me and asks me if I need help with anything. There's always a certified gunsmith on duty, and if you buy an upgrade, they'll install it for free while you wait. I'm just scratching the surface on why you're going to love the Glock Store. It's minutes from the airport, worth the trip from anywhere, and you go once, and I guarantee it's going to be your favorite gun store too. If you can't make it to the showroom, they're always open online, glockstore.com.
No, we caught Hillary Clinton. We caught Barack Hussein Obama. They're the ones, and then you have many, many people under them. Susan Rice, they're all there. The names are all there. And I guess they figured they're going to put this in classified information and nobody will ever see it again, but it doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't work that way at all. Tulsi Gabbard dropping receipts lightning fast. I mean, she's making promises yesterday saying more receipts coming. And then this morning kicks off and we got more receipts. Now, I made the comment, I said, the mainstream media hasn't really touched this story with a 10-foot pole. And they haven't. 9104 texts me in. She goes, oh, yeah? What about this? How's this for the media being silent? And I'll show you. Hold on. If you're watching on the stream, let me show you the screen. Send a screenshot in, which I'll take it. So put the screenshot up on the screen. There's 5 stories on this Google News search. One from 8 hours ago, ABC. Trump rehashes years-old grievances on Russia investigation after new intelligence report. One from 4 days ago from The Guardian. Tulsi Gabbard calls for Obama to be prosecuted over 2016 election claims. A day ago, NBC News, Trump's intelligence chiefs try to rewrite history of the 2016 election. 4 days ago, Politico. 2 days ago, Time Magazine. That's not media coverage. That's just not. Especially when you realize how much media coverage was dedicated to President Trump being a Russian asset. President Trump working for the Ruskies. Russia. Is Russia in the room with you right now? Do you remember the media coverage that we had on Russiagate? It was so overwhelming that even today, there's a new poll out. 60% of Democrats still believe Trump colluded with Russia to win the 2016 election. The brainwashing, the propaganda was so bad that even today, in 2025, 60% of your Democrats believe that Russia helped Donald Trump win the 2016 election. Russia. Yes. This is what new polling shows us. 60% of Democrats. Russia. And again, the media is not touching this story that Tulsi is breaking the way that they should be. They're not covering it with any kind of integrity whatsoever. And I think that you can point to the fact that the media is downright complicit. They were downright complicit in framing Trump as a Russian asset, and they're downright complicit in the treason, in the sedition that we saw take place. I mean, again, let's just take a stroll down memory lane on the mainstream media and how they covered Russia and the 2016 election in the first place.
Russia hacking the election to elect Trump is the end of our democracy. Votes were definitely affected. Russia hacked the election to tilt it to Mr. Trump.
The Russians definitively hacked the election.
Russia did hack the election.
No doubt. The Russians hacked the election.
Yes. Russia hacked the election.
Fact, Russia hacked the election.
President-elect Donald Trump still not sounding convinced that Russia hacked the election.
The president does not want to come to terms with the fact that...
I mean, I could do this all day. There's clips from CNN, there's clips from CBS, NBC, ABC, MSNBC. You have real journalists to Colbert and everyone in between. I mean, this supercut goes on for about... I don't know, two minutes and change.
Russia hacked the election.
Russia hacked the election.
Let's be clear, Russia hacked the election.
Definitively, Russia hacked the election, and Russia is doing it again now.
Election-related cyber hacking.
Cyber hacking of U.S. elections. Cyber hacking of the election.
Russia was cyber hacking the elewe
I feel like did you get the point?
I think I got the point. I was almost like if I were a drinking man.
We made it halfway through.
Yeah.
We made it halfway through the supercut.
Yeah. Alcohol poisoning would have hit me very hard if I were drinking on every time Russia was mentioned.
I mean, the media is not covering the recent developments by Tulsi with any sort of enthusiasm that they did with the allegations that Trump was a Russian asset. They're just not. They're not. And much in the same way that they've moved off the Joe Biden story after covering for his cognitive decline for 4 years. I mean, they moved off of that as quickly as they possibly could. Molly Hemingway yesterday on Fox Business says that the complicit media is running from the Russia hoax for this very reason. They know without a doubt, that they helped make this story a thing. They are complicit in this story, and you could even make the argument that they're guilty in this treasonous conspiracy.
Well, Larry, not just the president, but a lot of Americans are livid about this as well.
Yes.
And I think it's worth remembering that none of this would be possible without a complicit media that willingly participate in these info ops perpetrated by bad actors in the intelligence community. Some of the same people who uncritically regurgitated the Russia collusion hoax also uncritically regurgitated the lie that Hunter Biden's evidence of family business corruption was a Russian plant, and they do it with other situations as well. They have destroyed Americans' trust, whatever trust they should have had, in the intelligence community because of how they've politicized things and because of how the media have gone along with this. And instead of getting awards, they should be ignored, or in fact, I think maybe some of their role in the Russia collusion hoax might need to be investigated as well.
Yeah, listen, I agree with that. I mean, we can go back to the supercut if you want. We can. But yeah, I think their role in the Russia collusion hoax should be investigated. I think that the press was exposed as the enemy of the people during all of that. And they wittingly or unwittingly went along with the Democrats. And I tend to think it was wittingly. And you know, as the media continues to ignore this story, they are covering it a little bit. But you can make the argument, as one Scott Adams does, that the way they're covering it now is basically more info ops, as Molly Hemingway put it. You could say info op, you could say disinfo op, whatever you want to, potato. But Scott Adams, he says he's got a story from NBC from yesterday. And the headline from NBC reads, President Trump's intelligence chiefs are conducting a systematic campaign to rewrite the history of the 2016 election, seeking to reverse an 8-year-old assessment that Russia waged an information war to boost Trump's candidacy. Russia waged an information war in 2016, Scott Adams says. That's a weasel-like reframe. Allegedly, Russia hacked some Democrat emails, created some fake social media accounts, and made some memes no one saw. Would you call that interference or collusion? It had no impact on the election, per the intelligence community. NBC is waging an information war on you right now. And this is kind of what we're seeing from the mainstream media and how they're covering it. Without any actual credibility, without any actual journalistic integrity, what we're seeing is just kind of a continuation of what we saw in the original coverage of this story. It's an info op, and it's still going on. Yeah, it's still going on. Still going on. Will we get to the bottom of it? Well, I mean, who knows? Mike Johnson was floating out the idea of possibly subpoenaing Obama. And okay, I'm willing to listen. Mike Johnson willing to subpoena Obama to face Congress grilling over Trump-Russia scheme. New York Post has the story. House Speaker Mike Johnson said Monday he would not hesitate to bring former President Barack Obama before a congressional committee to testify on the 2016 Trump-Russia investigation by his administration. I mean, listen, I'd be open to it as long as it doesn't look like a bad Chappelle Show sketch where he's like, I plead the fifth. Then we get some info out of it. I'm here for it. But who knows if that's what would happen. We just don't know. But he said that there would be no concern in bringing in Barack Obama for that kind of a grilling in front of Congress. Would you be open to that? I mean, I guess I kind of look at it the same way I look at the Ghislaine Maxwell subpoena. You know, if we subpoenaed her and grilled her in Congress, like, is she even a credible witness? Like, is she going to tell you anything that you could look at and say that's true? Maybe not. I probably, if I was ranking them, I probably feel like we'd get more truthful information out of Ghislaine Maxwell than Barack Obama, just to be perfectly honest with you. But this is Mike Johnson on possibly subpoenaing Barack Obama.
What Tulsi Gabbard has done, the DNI chief, in essence, declassifying hundreds of documents that seem to suggest that manufactured intelligence was at play here with the Obama administration regarding this Russian collusion hoax. I've heard Stephen Miller call it a seditious conspiracy. I've heard Tulsi Gabbard call it a treasonous conspiracy. You're a constitutional guy. What do you see in this exactly? How do you term it?
Well, I don't know how to summarize it by way of description in a snappy phrase, but I will tell you it is deeply problematic. And before I became Speaker of the House, I served on the House Judiciary Committee, which had jurisdiction over a lot of this. And we knew what was happening. We knew intuitively, and we were gathering the evidence as we were investigating all of this ourselves. We knew the Russia collusion thing was a hoax. They used it as a basis to attack the president mercilessly. I served on his impeachment defense teams twice. That would be unheard of in history, that a president would be impeached twice on such spurless claims. But in those processes, as we were preparing for those defenses, as we were investigating with our oversight responsibility in judiciary, we recognized that the people who are being called out now were involved in a scheme. We knew that it was a shameless, false set of accusations. And yet, they perpetuated the lie on the American people, and they looked right into the camera and just lied, clearly. And they knew what they were up to the whole time.
So these people should be held accountable. I mean, I think that that's what we can all agree on. And then we get to the question, will they be held accountable, right? And then that's where it gets a little bit foggy. You have some factions of the MAGA base a little bit more rosy on this at this time. I feel a little bit more hopeful than I have in past. I'm still not 100% certain that anything is going to come of it. But given where we are now versus where we've been, yeah, I do. I think it's a bit more realistic. But Mike Johnson went on to say that he'd be open to subpoenaing Obama and seeing where the chips may fall. That's not something he's against doing.
And to do it in an unbiased fashion, to do effectively the opposite of what that other team did. They're engaged in a partisan political plot to take down their foe and the other party. We need to be about the rule of law and bringing order to the chaos and searching out the truth, because the American people are owed those answers.
Well, and I just think that if we really do that with letting the chips fall where they may, what we're going to see is high-level Obama officials and hopefully Obama himself in silver bracelets. Now, that's a big ask. It's a big ask. Will it happen? Your guess is going to be as good as mine. And we can only speculate at this time. But Tulsi Gabbard seems like she is on a mission. She is bringing receipts, and she says that more documents are going to be dropped throughout the week. It seems like it's going to be a trickle, drip, drip, waterfall kind of approach to this. And maybe we find ourselves in a situation here in a few days where the evidence is overwhelming and action needs to be taken. Maybe we find ourselves in a situation in a few days where all of this seems to have blown over and nobody's talking about it anymore. Again, your guess is as good as mine, but it's a story that we're going to be paying attention to all week long, all day long here on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. On the way, there's definitely more to cover. More stories happening in Donald Trump's orbit. These trade deals, massive. Indonesia, Philippines, Japan. We'll dive into those when we get back. It's 9:51. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here from my friends at the Wellness Institute of Nashville. If you're tired of back pain or knee pain running your life, well, then you need to listen up, because this could change everything. We're calling it the Big Daddy Trump Special at the Wellness Institute of Nashville. And what is this Big Daddy Trump Special? Well, it's actually a fantastic deal. Just $12 is going to get you a full exam, x-rays if needed, a well-explained diagnosis, and your first treatment. All of that for only $12. Dr. Mitchell, Dr. Ashley, they're not going to give up on you, just like President Trump never gave up on America. Their patients say it all the time. Why didn't I come to you guys first? How come nobody explains it the way you guys explain it? And they hear it over and over and over again. And it doesn't matter what you're dealing with. Back pain, neck pain, sciatica, numbness, bulging discs. The difference is they'll treat it all with non-surgical spinal decompression, robot lasers, even anti-gravity machines. The key difference is they're not going to treat it with surgery, injections, or painkillers. If that sounds like it's something up your alley, give them a call today so that way they can fix your pain for good. 615-246-5009. That's 615-246-5009. The Wellness Institute of Nashville, online at painisbad.com.
Which school system has just changed the rules on absenteeism? No more doctor's notes. And why the state is pushing to shut down an Antioch daycare. That's all coming up here at 10 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Joan Jones in the newsroom. My name's Chris Hand, 957 Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. I was waiting for it. Are you going to do it? You look like you were like ready to click the button.
was ready to click it, but normally you give like a... Oh, wait, why do we need them again?
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
Betterwater.com.
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 I want to hear Mason do it one day.
I feel like Mason could do
I think he can pull it
killer
off.
Alex Jones if he needed to.
I don't know. Maybe.
You could.
Maybe.
Lay it down on tape and play it for us tomorrow.
I'll trade them out. See if you can tell the difference. We'll see what happens.
Tell me about interdimensional space demons harvesting souls, Mason. I don't like those interdimensional space demons.
See?
The birds. They're all drones.
They are.
They are. We only talk about facts on this show.
No, yeah. It's the one thing me and Hunter Biden agree on.
Dude, I got jump scared by that picture this morning. I went to put up that tweet that you had earlier, and the images was still there.
Oh, the Hunter Biden in his underwear? Yeah, we had a lot. I don't know.
What a show yesterday.
Just another reason to watch the video stream. We had a lot of images of Hunter Biden in his underwear on the show yesterday.
Yeah, go check out the lightning round yesterday.
Yeah.
It's definitely something.
Hit like and subscribe. All right, so there is more going on in Donald Trump's orbit besides the Russiagate, Obama Spygate stuff. He's actually improving the economy dramatically. Trade deals being announced yesterday, Philippines, Indonesia, and Japan.
But I just signed the largest trade deal in history. I think maybe the largest deal in history with Japan. And that was done with Japan. They had their top people here, and we worked on it long and hard, and it's a great deal for everybody. I always say it has to be great for everybody. It's a great deal. A lot different from the deals in the past, I can tell you that. But we're doing really well as a country. We're strong. We have a lot of money flowing in. The tariffs are kicked in better than anybody other than me and a few of the people in the room thought could happen, Howard and Scott. And I just want to thank you. You've been unbelievable allies, because you're really allies. That's what you've been, and we appreciate it. Some were very difficult, but you got there. And some were a little bit, they had a little confidence, and they came in early, and we just appreciate everybody. But
yeah, some people a little doubtful, but they got there. You got to trust in Trump, especially when it comes to this economy stuff. The guys around him trusting in him. The deals that are coming in, the biggest in history, $500 million from Japan. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. We'll talk a little bit more about that Japan trade deal, as well as the Indonesia trade deal, the Philippines trade deal, and more on the economy. Howard Lutnick had some things to say about the deal with Japan and the ability that it's going to give America. Plus, more information coming out about these declassified reports from Tulsi Gabbard. Apparently, there's some doozies. There's some doozies in there. As the internet's kind of weeding through these reports that have been released this morning, we'll be bringing you the latest information right here on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Good morning. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. Hot and unbearable again today. And Stefano tells us there's even less of a chance that we'll get any relief with thunderstorms today.
Extreme heat warning in West Middle Tennessee, southwestern Kentucky. The rest of the mid-state, with the exception of the Cumberland Plateau, is under a heat advisory for today. Heat index up to 105 to even 110 degrees in some areas, upper 90s to near 100.
We've got his full forecast coming up right after the news. A doctor's note isn't going to buy your kid an excused absence at Lawrence County schools anymore. The board says after 3 absences now, the school will start an intervention. Director of Schools, Michael Adkins.
If you got the sniffles, that's fine. You're going to have them when you go to work one day. We've all gone to work sick and hurt and beat up.
And after 8 or more days days of absence, the school will refer that student to juvenile court. Adkins says the new policy addresses chronic absenteeism. Last year, more than 14% of students in Lawrence County missed 10% or more of instructional days. The Tennessee Department of Human Services wants to close down what it calls an suspected illegal child care operation in Antioch. Now, this comes after a 4-month-old died on Friday in the care of the operator. She told police she had just fed a baby and put him in a pack and play, and when she checked on him again, he was unresponsive. The woman, who remains unnamed by media sources, told DHS she was caring for 2 4-month-olds and 5 2-year-olds. The state says that's too many kids for a one-person operation. A bizarre story out of Pennsylvania. Police there charging a woman with posing as a nurse for years in several states. Shannon Womack is accused of using 20 aliases and 7 social security numbers to get jobs at nursing homes and rehab facilities.
During a traffic stop, police say she provided 3 fake names. Only after fingerprinting did they uncover her true identity. They say her vehicle was packed with patient logs, drug paraphernalia, and equipment from multiple facilities.
That's ABC's Rhiannon Alley. Womack faces 43 criminal counts. And Sasquatch is coming to your iPhone. The hairy creature is just one of the new emojis coming in the iOS 26 update. Some other emojis include a treasure chest, ballet dancers, and a trombone. The nonprofit called Unicode Consortium is the organization that decides which emojis make it onto your phones and devices. That's the latest news. We've got weather up next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
It's 10:06 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Ann. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. We love those guys. You can watch the show. Super Talk TV is live on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble, and YouTube. Hit like and subscribe. We're really the focus is Rumble and YouTube. That's where we want to grow. So find us there, 99.7 WTN. Hit like and subscribe to the shows. We appreciate it when you do so. Help us grow that digital footprint for the radio station. It honestly helps. Have you been following the Poly Market story?
No, I haven't. What's going on?
Poly Market has been technically blocked for Americans for a while, but it's coming back to the United States. So
interesting.
Yeah, I don't know much about the story. I do know that it was popular in 2024. People were betting on politics.
Yeah.
On Poly Market. So there was some regulation thing. Whatever. I'm not going to get caught in the weeds, but I did see that now that it's back, they're running bets again.
Ooh.
And I noticed something I found pretty funny. So if you look at the Poly Market, this is the world's largest prediction market, and you look at Democrat presidential nominee numbers, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Most likely, Gavin Newsom, 21%. That's fine. Whatever. Then you got Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, 16%. Pete Buttigieg, 12%.
Okay.
Josh Shapiro, 7%. And rounding out the top 5 is Kamala Harris at 5%.
Really?
Yep. She has 5%. Now, this is where it gets funny. We go over to the Republican presidential nominees.
Yeah.
Okay. On Poly Market, JD Vance, 56%.
Understandable.
No arguments. No arguments. Marco Rubio, 7%.
Okay.
Also cool.
Yeah.
Donald Trump Jr., 5%. I think that's a little bit high. But then coming in at 5%, also tied with Kamala Harris on the Democrat side, is Donald Trump. People think it's as equally good of a bet that Trump is going to be the nominee in 2028 that they do Kamala Harris is going to be the nominee in 2028. I don't know why. But
interesting.
It just tickles me pink. The guy who can't run for a third term
has a better shot.
Probably has as much of a chance as Kamala Harris as becoming the nominee.
Good.
That sounds about right. And listen, when you look at what Donald Trump's been able to accomplish in this 6 months, it's hard to argue with a third term. It is. And I know I'm not going to get bogged down by things like the Constitution. It's never stopped a Democrat. So why worry about it? No, but I mean, he's not going to be the president.
No,
he's not going to be the nominee. But it's funny.
Yeah,
it's funny, and I do think that it goes to a lot of what he's done positively in these last 6 months. The trade deal with Japan, massive, absolutely massive. In a post on True Social, Trump explained that this deal would create hundreds of thousands of jobs, and Japan would open their country to trade on things such as cars and trucks, rice, and certain other agricultural products. Trump added that the U.S. would receive 90% of the profits from Japan's investment. We just completed a massive deal with Japan, perhaps the largest deal ever made. Japan will invest, at my direction, $550 billion into the United States, which will receive 90% of the profits. I totally flubbed that earlier. This is what happens when you're dealing with these kind of large numbers. I said $500 billion. I meant $500 billion. It's a little different.
Makes a bit of a difference.
It's a hair.
Just a little bit.
It gives a little bit more, a little more positivity to it. $500 billion, $550 billion. Trump continued, this deal will create hundreds of thousands of jobs. There's never been anything like it. Perhaps most importantly, Japan will open their country to trade, including cars, trucks, rice, and other agricultural products and other things. Japan will pay reciprocal tariffs to the United States of 15%. This is a very exciting time for the United States of America, and especially for the fact that we will continue to have a great relationship with the country of Japan. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So Japan is still going to be paying us 15% tariffs. That's a pretty big deal. And it kind of goes back to what we were talking about with the Philippines. The Philippines are going to be paying 19% tariffs. We're going to be paying 0%. Wild. Howard Lutnick, though, talking about the deal with Japan. And Howard Lutnick is, I don't know how you feel about Howard Lutnick. I think he's one of the smarter guys in the administration. And when it comes to the economy, I couldn't find a better guy besides him and Scott Bessent to be kind of leading the charge on this behind the scenes. But he says that the Japanese are going to give America the ability to choose the projects decide the projects, execute the projects on where their money is being invested from that $550 billion that was announced.
So the Japanese are going to give America the ability to choose the projects, decide the projects, and execute the projects. So let's say we want to build generic pharmaceuticals, right? We don't make antibiotics in America. So the president says, let's go make antibiotics in America. The Japanese will finance the project. They will finance the project, and then we'll give it to an operator who'll run it, and the profits will be split 90% to the taxpayers of the United States of America and 10% to the Japanese. So they basically bought down their tariff rate by this commitment of we will back what you, the president, want, and you, America, want to build in America that are key to national security concerns. We'll back that, and therefore we'll be on your side.
The Prime Minister, Ishiba, says these are loan guarantees. Is it more than that?
Of course it's more than that. It's equity, loans, and loan guarantees. They have to deliver the project. So we say, let's build semiconductors. We want to build $100 billion worth of semiconductor fabs, is what you call them, because we want to make those chips in America. The Japanese will finance that whole project. They've got to put down equity, loans, whatever they want to do. They have to deliver the $100 billion.
I mean, it sounds like this is going to benefit America in a massive way. And this is just in conjunction with all the other trade deals that we've seen coming in. Again, yesterday, it wasn't just Japan. It was also the Philippines and Indonesia coming in on trade deals as well. Breitbart has that story. Donald Trump on Tuesday announced 2 new trade agreements with the Philippines and Indonesia, securing expanded market access for American goods while imposing 19% tariff on imports from both Southeast Asian nations. This is wild. I mean, we get a deal that looks like it's really going to benefit America, and they're still paying a whopping 19% tariff. The back-to-back announcements came after White House meetings with Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
I don't know anybody that does it better.
Can't possibly.
Listen, it's a pretty cool name. Subianto.
I mean, not as cool as, what was it? Bong Bong? No.
Bong Bong.
Bong Bong.
That was the Philippine president.
Yeah.
According to Ken Weaver.
According to Ken Weaver.
Bong Bong and Subianto. I mean, it sounds like a heck of a duo.
Swimming in cool names right now.
I mean, well, hey, that's where we got the agreements from. And they say they mark a major push by the Trump administration to rewrite trade terms with key partners ahead of that August 1st deadline, which is looming out there and creating a lot of leverage for America as these negotiations continue. After that August 1st date, tariffs are set to rise unilaterally on countries without these new deals in place. So everybody's rushing to the table. In that first announcement, President Trump said the Philippines had agreed to eliminate all tariffs on American exports, calling the country open market with the United States and zero tariffs. And he added that the Philippine exports to the U.S. would be subject to a 19% tariff, and said the two countries had agreed to expand military cooperation as well. Later on in the day, President Trump unveiled a similar agreement with Indonesia, saying that the country would remove 99% of its tariff barriers on American industrial, tech, and agricultural products. And he'd also announced that Indonesia would supply critical minerals to the U.S. and sign deals to purchase Boeing aircrafts, energy products, and farm goods. Transactions, Mr. Trump said, would be worth tens of billions of dollars. Under this agreement, Indonesian exports to the U.S. will also face a 19% tariff. This deal is a huge win for our automakers, tech companies, workers, farmers, ranchers, and manufacturers. So the president is still getting things done. And if you look at it, I mean, just at face value, it does seem like it's going to benefit America a lot more than it's going to benefit these other countries. I mean, 99% tariff removal for Indonesia, 19% tariffs for them coming in. And then for the Philippines, zero tariffs, 19%. That sounds like a win. Sounds like a win. They say with today's announcement, both the Philippines and Indonesia have become early examples of what the administration describes as fair and reciprocal trade model, zero tariffs for U.S. exports, and sharply higher duties on goods entering the American market. That's Trump's plan, and it looks like he's executing on the plan. Now, Energy Secretary Chris Wright is also out there saying that what President Trump is doing in bringing back common sense on America's energy is absolutely putting points on the board. And we're seeing that. We're seeing other countries sign on to buy those LNG exports. Italy coming in. That was a big note the other day. But Energy Secretary Chris Wright says this is putting us in a power position across the world.
He's all in on bringing common sense back to energy. More energy is better than less energy. More affordable energy is better than more expensive energy. Just common sense. But Washington was going the opposite direction for 4 years. Let me see one other thing. Natural gas. Natural gas is the fastest growing source of energy on the planet. And it's also the fastest growing export of the United States. We're by far the world's biggest gas producer. The previous administration stopped issuing permits for expansion of United States natural gas exports.
There was an export ban at one point.
Just nuts. I mean, that's bad for our allies. That's bad for our country, bad for our economy. So to be able to reverse that stuff quickly, that's empowering and thrilling.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, with the energy stuff, I mean, if we're banning exports, then you're forcing your allies into the arms of Mother Russia, and we saw that with Germany. We saw that with Italy, and we're seeing that tide being completely reversed with Donald Trump just exporting out tons of it. And why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we? It doesn't make any sense what the previous administration doing. And our Energy Secretary, Chris Wright, also said that we're increasing mining as well to compete with China when it comes to rare earth minerals. This is him on how we're competing there.
Trump's platform. We need Americans to be able to build things again, big things again. Mines are big things. It's on average 19 years from a discovery to a mine in the United States. We have to change that. And China has used that leverage of their control of the supply chain for rare earth elements to hold it over our head, to slow deliver things that are key to our manufacturing process. So we have an across the administration effort. That mine in Wyoming you saw just opened, first one in 70 years. We're expanding the one is there with some government help. We're going to get processing and manufacturing of the key components there. We are going to do things with allies overseas that we can friend source things that we can't home shore right away. So this takes time, but we're moving fast. We will not be in the position we are in today at the end of this administration. We will be much more secure.
Yeah, and I think that the entire base feels that, and we can see that we're already moving in that direction. Yeah, we're going to be in a far better position at the end of Donald Trump's 4 years than we were at the end of Joe Biden's. And granted, that's a pretty low bar. That's not a hurdle that we're really nervous about clearing. But whoever gets in next, J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio, they're going to be far better off than Donald Trump was. And what Donald Trump has been able to do in these last 6 months have been unprecedented, historic, unbelievable. And it's going to continue. Scott Bessent is still out there working every day, trying to get this economy back on track. Howard Lutnick out there every day working on these trade deals. Jameson Greer, you can go down the line. This team is not stopping and not slowing down. The media is not going to give them any credits. No. The media is actually going to do everything they can to fight against it, and we'll drag them kicking and screaming into prosperity, make no mistake about it. But they're going to keep fighting it. I saw a headline here. Arizona Republic. The Arizona Republic. Everybody knows it's a big newspaper in Arizona. They put out a headline. If you can put the headline on the screen. Arizona tomato industry could take a hit. This is how the left-wing media covers President Trump's economy and how he's doing things. The reality couldn't be further from the truth. So this is the headline. When we get back, I'll show you exactly why this is just another mainstream media lie. Donald Trump, the tariffs rocking, especially when it comes to the tomato industry. We'll talk about that next. It's 10:21. This is Super Talk, 99.7 WTN.
Uber has a new option it says will make women feel safer. And a couple of teenagers have been charged for what they posted on Snapchat. We've got that and more coming up here at 10:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Uber has a new option to make women feel safer. Is it don't read the comment boards on Reddit? Is that their new option?
Stay away from the very obvious creepy guy in the car.
Yeah. You get the heebie-jeebies, cancel the ride. This is the new heebie-jeebies. The new heebie-jeebie option for female riders.
Perfect.
It won't hurt your score. What? Is it? I don't know. It probably actually would make a lot of sense.
I mean, yeah, absolutely.
Trust the gut. You get the heebie-jeebies. Get out of there.
Get out of there.
Get out of there.
Missing license plate? Hit that heebie-jeebie button.
Hit the heebie-jeebie button. Listen, I would support a heebie-jeebie button.
I would too.
There would be reverse heebie-jeebie discrimination.
Oh, for sure.
You'd have drivers.
Yeah, they could plead their case.
Discriminating.
The lighting was good. I wasn't creepy.
Yeah. All right. So trust your gut. Trust your gut. That's kind of like how we operate. A lot of what we see in the news. If you trust your gut on the first read, you're oftentimes correct. So I saw this headline from the Arizona Republic. Obviously, the gold standard in Arizona. Everybody knows that.
Obviously.
So it's the Arizona Republic, part of the USA Today network. They ran a headline. It said, Arizona tomato industry could take a hit. Financial blow, higher prices predicted under tariffs. And I thought to myself, I'm like, tomatoes are going to take a hit on tariffs? That doesn't sound right. And again, it's like, just trust your gut. Just trust your gut. In fact, tomato farmers are saying, no, actually, the tariffs are helping us out. Isn't that weird? Yeah, American tomato farmers are being impacted positively by tariffs.
Smith Tomato Farm has been a fixture here on top of Chandler Mountain in St. Clair County for about 60 years. Chad Smith says he's seen a lot of changes over the years and not in a positive direction.
Less than 20 years ago, there was over 10 farms here on this mountain. Now there's barely 5, probably going to be 4 within a couple years. And as another 20 years goes by, there's going to be less and less.
Blake Thaxton with the Alabama Fruit and Vegetable Growers Association says the U.S. agreement with Mexico, first set in the late 90s, was meant to protect U.S. farmers, but it wasn't working.
There's been loopholes that the Mexican tomato producers have taken advantage of and continue to price dump or lower the prices below the cost of production here in the United States and in Alabama.
If they send the tomatoes over and it's supposed to be a set price and they need to move tomatoes, well, they may just give a load of bell pepper for free for them to take the tomatoes. So it's never really worked.
Now, without that agreement, the U.S. has a 17% tariff on tomatoes from Mexico.
So a lot of these tomatoes will actually be going out today.
Smith says he's already seeing a more level playing field.
Oh, what's that you say? If you don't let other countries price dump products into America, it positively impacts American workers and American farms. Oh,
what?
Where's all the Democrats screaming about how great this is for American farms? They're the backbone of America, after all. We heard how upset they were when all those farm workers were rounded up because they had to pick their OG Kush. We heard. I mean. Wouldn't you expect the same Democrats to be reacting positively to news of our farmers, the backbone of America, being lifted up by Donald Trump's policies? No? Isn't that weird? I find that weird. Tomato farmers, actually, pro-tariff.
It's only been 2 days now, and we've actually have a lot more calls of people having interest in doing business. And the price hasn't even changed.
Food security is national security. And we need to be able to produce our own food here in the United States.
Amen. Food security is national security. Listen, a lot of what Donald Trump is doing here is to get that focus on national security, whether it's the food security or pharmaceuticals and other reindustrializing steps that he's taking. It's huge. It's huge. So you could call this a vindication of Trump's tariff strategy. That's what I would call it. The mainstream media won't call it anything. They won't even report on it. They'll just ignore it as best they can and run headlines about how the tariffs are bad. We see it time and time again. But the experts tend to be wrong oftentimes. Scott Bessent was talking about this the other day. Said the Wall Street Journal, oftentimes they're not functioning at a high level economically wise, like the president does. The president and his advisors around him function at a much higher level than the so-called experts.
Newspapers like the Wall Street Journal are not used to a high-functioning executive president. They are used to, perhaps President Biden, perhaps President Obama, who was not as economically sophisticated as President Trump. President Trump solicits a whole range of opinions and then makes a decision. So he takes a lot of inputs, and at the end of the day, it's his decision, just as it was his decision on Iran. And look at the tremendous success there. Look at the tremendous success at the border. And that is what a great executive looks like.
Yeah, and that's why we'll continue trusting that great executive sitting at Pennsylvania Avenue currently, because what are the other options? You look at the results, it's hard not to trust the guy. 1031, Super Talk, 99.7 WTN.
I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. Uber is rolling out a new feature for riders and drivers. The company says it's going to make rideshare safer for women. Women riders will now have the option to choose a female driver, and female drivers will have the option to pick female passengers.
For riders, they can request a female driver on demand, but it's only about 1 in 5 Uber drivers nationwide that are female, so it's not guaranteed. Or you might have to wait a longer time if you want that option. Another way to do this, riders can reserve in advance. That gives more probability that the female driver request can be honored. Or the third way is to set a preference for women drivers, which increases your chances of being matched with one but doesn't guarantee it.
ABC's Becky Worley there. 2 Giles County teenagers have been charged for sharing online a compromising photo of a classmate. They did this on Snapchat. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation says the pair received that photo from a third teenager in November and then uploaded it. One of the 2 teens also sent a threatening message to the victim. So far, no charges for the teenager who first shared that photo. The State Department confirms that Special Envoy for the Middle East, Steve Witkoff, is on his way to Gaza. Here's State Department spokesperson Tammy Bruce.
Special Envoy Witkoff is heading to the region now, to the Gaza area. And we all have, as the President and the Secretary and the Envoy, a strong hope that we will come forward with another ceasefire, as well as a humanitarian corridor for aid to flow.
Some media outlets are reporting that Witkoff is actually in Rome, and negotiators from Hamas and Israel are meeting in Doha. Witkoff will only join the Doha talks if a deal is close at hand. That is the latest news. Weather is up next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
Hey, it is the absolute worst time of the year for your AC to not be working. And if you're in that position, don't feel like you're going to get raked over the coals by the sales guys. Call the experts you can trust. Call Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Right now, if you're looking to upgrade your comfort at home, you can get that brand new HVAC system, and they'll throw in free air duct fogging and a UV light home treatment, because clean air matters, and it's not going to break the bank. Busy Bee is going to make it easy for you. 0% financing for 18 months with approved credit, and payments as low as $100 a month on that HVAC replacement. Stop sweating it out inside the house this time of year. Get your HVAC replaced from Busy Bee. And right now, maybe you don't need the HVAC, but you need some peace of mind. How about a smart Wi-Fi water shutoff valve for only $12.49 this July only, installed by their expert techs. That is some serious peace of mind whenever you go on vacation. You don't have to worry about a plumbing disaster. That's exclusively from Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Give them a call today. You won't be disappointed. 615-775-7833. 615-775-7833. Or visit them online, busybeehvac.com. $10:37, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. Show is brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. Got a nice text here. Did you see the text I got on the text line? So nice. 6214 said, Chris, love the show. You're my third favorite radio personality. Well, make sure you hit like and subscribe on the YouTube page. Anecdotally, number 3. Appreciate it. You can find us on YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. Just search 99.7 WTN. Again, please do hit like and subscribe. Helps feed the kids. Got 4 of them. Could use your assistance, and it helps us grow that digital footprint of the radio station. It does help, believe it or not. So find us. I think we're still a few away from 10,000 on YouTube. So make that happen. What did he say yesterday? If only about 15 dedicated listeners created 10 fake profiles on YouTube and liked and subscribed to our channel, we'd hit that 10,000, no problem. That's it. That's all we need, Ken.
You're encouraging debauchery, Brother Chris.
That's what we do. A lot to get to here on the show. So we were talking about the tomatoes. Spoiler alert, the tariffs are helping the tomato industry.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, did you know that?
Well,
they said
Jones is helping Ken Weaver's tomato industry.
You know, Joan Jones wouldn't have been able to produce those tomatoes without the tariffs. She would have been undercut by the Mexicans. It's the truth. 615-737-9986 if you want to join the conversation. 615-737-9986. Yesterday we played some audio from Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden, who did just an Al Pacino-sized mountain of cocaine, and then did a 3-hour interview with some YouTuber. It was a mess. His criticisms of ICE were heard by one Tom Homan, and Tom Homan wasn't happy. I don't know if you remember the criticisms, but he said, "You're gonna call these illegal aliens criminals? F you!" And well, Laura Ingraham played those comments for Tom Homan. Went like this:
Who do you think washes your dishes?
Well, I do my own dishes, Tom. But this idea that the fruit's going to rot in the orchards, nobody's ever going to have a lawn mowed again if we actually enforce our immigration laws.
Well, I don't really care what the former first drug addict thinks. I just thank God every morning I wake up, we got President Trump in the Oval Office.
Oh, ooh. What do you think about Hunter Biden, Tom? I don't think of him at all, actually. The former first drug addict. I mean, he said it without skipping a beat, too. Just dry read. Just no. He was excited to say it.
Care what the former first drug addict thinks. I just thank God every morning I wake up, we got President Trump in the Oval Office. And because of President Trump, in 7 weeks, we got the most secure border in this nation's history. And now we're arresting public safety threats and national security threats every day across this country.
Yep, amen. And it's because of Donald Trump being back in the office, because of guys like Tom Homan being an effective border czar. Who was that last border czar we had? I'm drawing a blank.
Oh, it was a lady, right?
Yeah, and she didn't go to the border. Remember that?
Yeah, that's right.
They said, "You're the border czar," and she said, "Yeah." Sounds good.
Now give me my whistle.
Give me that vodka.
Yeah.
She said, "Dougie, I need some Doritos." Yeah. It's amazing what just a change in attitude has done at the southern border, and it's amazing what a change in attitude just at the top does for a country. We had talked about the left kicking back and fighting back against immigration enforcement. Tom Homan has been doing just a bang-up job, and leftists are rightfully upset. And we saw the rise of an app, Ice Block. Everybody was very excited about Ice Block. I myself have informed numerous people of ICE raids that weren't happening because we decided here on this show that if we flood the zone with fake reports on this app of where ICE is, well, then no reports mean anything. But this app, Ice Block, was designed to do just that, expose ICE officers when they're out and about on enforcement operations. And given the rhetoric of the left, what you're really seeing this app do is putting officers in the line of fire. We see that with the ambushes in Texas, that these left-wing extremists are absolutely ratcheting things up a notch. And this app was going to make their job even less safe. And this is on top of the 830% rise in violence that these ICE officers are seeing. So as we're digging into the app, we find out that the guy that created the app, his wife actually works at the Department of Justice. I know. It's shocking. I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, I believe Laura Loomer was one of the first people to report on this. And Laura Loomer, you can say what you want about her. She is downright wild at times. But oftentimes her reporting is correct, and good reporting is good reporting. She had that story first. Carol Feinstein is her name, and I'm pleased to inform you that she has been fired without warning after a decade at the government agency. Good. Bye-bye. The Telegraph has the story. Department of Justice employee claims she was fired in retribution after bosses discovered her husband was the creator of an anti-ICE app. Carolyn Feinstein said she was unfairly removed from her post because of the role her husband, Joshua Aaron, played in developing Ice Block. The Ice Block app sends warnings to users when immigration and customs enforcement agents are nearby. Oh, so stunned and shocked that this DOJ staffer has been fired. Now, earlier this month, Pam Bondi, the U.S. Attorney General, issued a warning to the creator of Ice Block, Joshua Aaron, accusing him of threatening the lives of ICE agents. Ms. Feinstein received a letter on Friday saying her role has been terminated at the DOJ, where she has worked for almost a decade. She said, "This was retribution. I was fired because of the actions or activism of my husband," Ms. Feinstein told the Daily Beast. "It's insulting to me because I dedicated myself and my career to serving the people of the United States, and now the DOJ is claiming I was attempting to harm some of them, and that's not true." Well, ma'am, your husband created an app that would absolutely have led to the harm of some agents. Sorry, I don't feel bad at all, especially given the day and age of people being fired for spouses' political opinions. I mean, do we need to relitigate what happened during COVID, or people that spoke out against the election, or people that had the audacity to say something nice about Donald Trump during his first term or Joe Biden's term? No. But Miss Feinstein, who works in bankruptcy fraud, said she was targeted because of her husband's work. And even if that's true, I say good. Mr. Aaron infuriated Trump supporters earlier this month when he gave an interview to CNN discussing his reasons for developing ICE Block. The app allows users to pin on the map whenever they spot ICE agents, which then sends a notification to other users within a 5-mile radius to help them evade arrests. We talked about the app ad nauseum, how awful it was that they would create something like this. And I'm glad. I'm glad that this woman was fired. I don't feel bad at all. But that's a story we're paying attention to. Another story I'm paying attention to. This one, file this under good news. Louisville, Kentucky. Common sense reigning supreme, which I don't know about you, not something that you often hear in the same sentence with Louisville, Kentucky. Yet here we are. Louisville, Kentucky has dropped its sanctuary city policies after pressure from the Department of Justice. Yes, I'll say it again. Louisville, Kentucky is no longer a sanctuary city due to pressure from the Department of Justice.
Let's go.
Well, that's a huge win, is it not?
That's huge.
I feel like were you about to hit the clap?
I was looking at it. I was like, should we? I think that's pretty worth it, in my opinion.
I think it's clap-worthy.
I think that's huge.
I can count on one finger how many times Louisville, Kentucky has gotten a round of applause on this. Believe it or not.
If I had a nickel for every time.
Yeah, we'd be 5 cents richer.
Oh, yeah. But I think it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth that nickel.
Yeah, we don't even want to fade it out early.
No, I'm letting the whole thing ride.
And Louisville deserves it.
Yeah.
I mean,
they deserve their flowers.
Well, give them their flowers.
They deserve their nickel.
They do. They do. That's 5 cents right there.
Oh, man. 5 cents richer. Look at that.
All right. Yeah, there's one holdout there at the end.
Yeah, he just kept going. I was like, okay, hey, man.
Yeah.
It's just Louisville.
That'd be a heck of a slogan for your city. Not a sanctuary city anymore. Come to Louisville.
We got our nickel.
That would change. That would change the tourism advertising in my mind.
I might go now.
Wouldn't you? I would revamp the whole tourism campaign for Louisville.
No longer a sanctuary city.
No longer a sanctuary city.
Don't have to worry about illegals.
Louisville, we learned our lesson.
That one's good.
That's pretty good, right? It's solid. It's solid.
We learned. Or Louisville. My bad.
Louisville. We're getting there.
Louisville. One step at a time.
Louisville. It's better.
Louisville. No more illegally occupied hotels.
Yeah, Louisville. Our hotel occupants pay for their rooms. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi took to Twitter to describe this as a major victory, saying, in a major victory, the Department of Justice, the city of Louisville is dropping its sanctuary city policies as a result of strong written warning from my office. Is this the first time a strongly worded letter from the DOJ has found itself to be effective? I feel like it might be officially the first time.
Yeah.
They're going to get their hopes up, and they're going to send out more strongly worded letters that will go nowhere. It's just going to happen, isn't it? It's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Pam Bondi continued, this should set an example to other cities. Instead of forcing us to sue you, which we will, without hesitation, follow the law, get rid of sanctuary policies, and work with us to fix the illegal immigration crisis. I mean, it seems pretty simple. According to Fox News, Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg, a Democrat, wrote in a letter that the policy shift was to avoid being targeted by the Trump administration over sanctuary city policies, saying, and I quote, my understanding is that by returning to our pre-2017 practices and again honoring 48-hour detainers, thereby functionally extending the notice period from DHS from 5 to 12 hours to 48 hours, Louisville will no longer be considered a sanctuary jurisdiction and, as a result, will no longer be vulnerable to the negative consequences of this designation, Greenberg wrote to the DOJ. This city will, therefore, adjust its detainer policy to avoid litigation over DOJ's allegations of federal preemption. This comes after the Trump administration's border czar Tom Homan had said that he will flood sanctuary cities with ICE agents. I mean, that's the deal, right? Either you get on board or you get overrun and flooded with ICE agents. That was Tom Homan's promise on Fox News some days ago.
Governor Hochul, she supported the Bail Reform Act. This is why these people, these illegal aliens, walked out of a NYPD precinct. They didn't even get to Rikers Island. So it starts with bail reform. Then the sanctuary city, starts with De Blasio and the city council. I put a lot of blame on the city council because we had an agreement to put ICE back into Rikers Island so we can arrest a lot of bad guys in the safety and security of Rikers Island. And the city council sued and stopped that from happening. So I put a lot of blame on the city council why the crime rate is so high in New York. But look, we're arresting record amounts of public safety threats in New York. We're making New York safer every day because of the people we arrest. But we got a lot more to do. We got a lot more to find. And that's why President Trump committed 2 weeks ago. We are going to prioritize sanctuary cities because we know we have a problem. We know they're releasing public safety threats every day. And I said today at the press conference, we're going to flood the zone of sanctuary cities.
So again, a lot of those comments are in the aftermath of the off-duty CBP officer being shot in New York City. But the comments of flooding the zone of sanctuary cities apparently resonated with the mayor of Louisville. And he says, not a huge fan of that. We'll do what we need to end the sanctuary city policies in Louisville. And he was forced to. He didn't want to get sued, but the end result is the same. It's going to create a safer, better city for Kentuckians. So we're here for it. A lot more to talk about on the way, but real quick, we do have a bit of a giveaway. The Williamson County Fair is coming to town.
Yeah.
And we have a family 4-pack of tickets.
Let's go.
Now, you have the copy, right?
I have the copy.
Yeah, you have the copy?
The copy?
Yeah, we made Sam on Dan's show read the copy.
I am not Sam.
So, but it was...
Well, okay, actually.
It's the producer's duty.
I am Sam. Oh, no.
My
first name is Sam.
Your first name's Sam?
My first name is Sam.
Why do we call you Mason?
Because I don't like it. No, my first name is Samuel. My parents called me Mason because that's my middle name. All my brothers and I go by our middle names. It was a way to make public school so much more interesting.
I'm very distracted, and I know we have to do the giveaway, but I feel like we need to dive into this more.
How far do you want to deep?
Like
how far do you want to dive?
Wait, your family gave you a name knowing they were going to call you by your middle name?
Yep. Yeah.
Was that established first kid, or did it happen?
Oh yeah,
did it
first
happen
kid.
Organically?
They immediately were like, "Nah, I like the name Samuel, but we'll call him Mason. It'll be interesting."
Okay.
It was not my best day.
No, and that was day one.
Yeah, day one.
Really downhill, downhill immediately.
Yeah, we're riding right here.
Okay. Williamson County Fair tickets, family 4-pack. When is the fair?
It's from August 1st through the 9th.
August 1st through the 9th. It's going to be fantastic. You get to go for free. You get to bring the kids, bring the wife, and caller number 10 lands those family 4-pack of tickets at 615-737-9986. You want the tickets? Be caller 10, 615-737-9986. It's 1052 Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
The Idaho college murderer learns his fate today, and as Hamas refuses to accept a ceasefire, starvation and malnutrition in Gaza are escalating. These stories and more at 11 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Ken Weaver in the newsroom. It is 10:58. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. We had that family 4-pack of tickets to give away to the Williamson County Fair. And we got a winner. It was Marie in, what was the county? Sumner County?
She's in Sumner County.
Sumner County. Congratulations, Marie.
That's the way to go, Marie.
Let's go.
So I'm really still hung up on the fact that you're naming him Mason.
Listen, it's what my parents called me, bro. What do you expect?
Throws me off.
Just a little bit. I mean, you don't have to call me by my first name. That's not I'm not changing any rules on you.
I don't know. A lot of people
am
on the text line were like lining up to have your back. Did you
Really?
notice that? A lot of people go by their middle name.
Yeah, I noticed a couple people jumping out. Hold on, let me pull
I
it back up
understand it if like you're a one-off in the family, but your family named you with the intent to call you by the middle name.
here. No, hold on. What do you mean
That's
a one-off? Like one kid does it?
Yeah, like one kid does it, and like he doesn't like the name, they go by the middle name. Got it.
Like it's their
But
choice
you're
thing,
the
but
third
like
kid. So at that point, your parents.
no, I'm the first kid.
You're the first kid.
They
I thought you
nailed
were
me
the
with that one.
youngest.
No, I am the oldest of three. They looked at me and went, middle name.
Instantly regret the first name.
Yeah.
You call him Mason.
They're like, Samuel, I don't like that. But those jars, those are pretty cool jars. Might have to go with Mason instead. It's
Yeah.
like, maybe not.
People like the jars.
Yeah.
People like
Or the
jars.
Freemasons. I'm not a fan of it, but
Also, nobody likes those guys.
Nah.
I like calling him Brother Mason.
I like
that.
I like that too.
It's a kid exclusive, though.
A lot of people are very excited that all you needed to get rid of sanctuary city policies in Louisville, Kentucky, was a strongly worded letter. And Ray is saying, can the DOJ send a strongly worded letter to Memphis next?
Ooh, I'm here for it.
Does Memphis have sanctuary city policies?
I believe so. Let me pull it up to make sure for you.
I think they could write him a long letter about a bunch of stuff.
Filibuster on paper form. I got to read the whole thing. It says filibuster at the top.
All right. Hey, on the way, got some stuff to tell you about China. You're not going to be happy. China's doing China things.
China?
I know. I got dual citizens stealing missile secrets. I got a Chinese surrogate story that is going to make you rethink birthright citizenship.
Huh.
And Microsoft really dropped the ball. It's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. We'll cover it all next. It's 11 o'clock. Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
$11 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. The heat wave continues. Temperatures feeling like 100 degrees or higher. Later today, anyway. Right now, we're sitting at 94 degrees as the heat index. It's 87, the actual temperature in Nashville. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. The Idaho college murderer learns his fate today. We get more from ABC's Kana Whitworth there at the courthouse in Boise.
This is really the only time these families will have the opportunity to directly address the man convicted of killing their loved ones. We expect a highly emotional day in court, and it will be packed.
Brian Koberger to receive 4 consecutive life sentences from a judge in Boise. War in Gaza. ABC's Tom Sufi Burridge is there. Starvation and malnutrition escalating as Hamas, which started the war, refuses to accept a ceasefire unless Israel withdraws from Gaza.
What we're seeing
are critical levels of malnutrition according to aid agencies. More and more very graphic images of malnourished children, reports that there isn't enough baby formula, there isn't enough food, there aren't enough of the basic food substances. And this, I think you've got to realize, is a long-term picture. This hasn't just happened over the last few weeks. This is the result of not only 21 months of war, but also earlier in the year, Israel basically implemented a full blockade on Gaza.
Now, there's a 60-day ceasefire proposal on the table, but Hamas refuses to accept. Tennessee 2nd District Congressman Tim Burchett successfully offered a motion directing the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform to issue a subpoena compelling Ghislaine Maxwell to appear for a deposition. He tells WTN's Dan Mandis this morning he expects action from Oversight Chairman James Comer.
He will put it forward, and the way I understand it is now we have to work it out with the federal authorities. I understand Ms. Maxwell is in the middle of an appeal process, and her safety, of course, is of concern, getting her in and out. And it might be better if we just go interview her behind bars.
It is expected the committee will ask Maxwell about a so-called client list, among other things. And elsewhere in our nation's capital,
President Trump continues to tout this new trade agreement with Japan, writing on social media that Japan will open up its market to U.S.-made cars and agriculture products. The president announced Tuesday night he'll put a 15% tariff on products coming into the U.S. from Japan, down from the 25% he had threatened. Japan is America's 5th largest trading partner. This is one of the more significant framework agreements announced by the president, who had promised 90 deals in 90 days. The administration has fallen well short of that, but has reached agreements with Indonesia, Vietnam, the Philippines, the UK, and a truce on trade with China. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
.1107 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. Samuel Mason is producing. The show is brought to you by Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. What's up, Sam?
What's up, Chris?
You doing all right?
I'm doing all right.
Everybody on the text line has your back, just for the record.
Appreciate it.
All right, 615-737-9986 if you want to join the conversation. 615-737-9986. The big story of the day is going to be Tulsi Gabbard and Donald Trump. And there have been new developments. Tulsi Gabbard promised more documents today, and she delivered. Catherine Herridge has been going through these documents. You know Catherine Herridge, fantastic reporter. And she put out a tweet highlighting the key pages in some of these declassified documents that DNI Gabbard has released today. Key pages 16 and 17 on this newly declassified documents via Tulsi Gabbard that challenged the January 2017 intelligence community assessment that Putin and the Russian government developed a clear preference for President-elect Trump. And here are the key details. Declassified GOP House Intel report found that Putin had more damaging information about candidate Clinton that could have been used against her in the final days of the 2016 campaign, but the information was held back. Interesting. Weird. If you have a clear preference for Donald Trump, why would you hold back information that could hurt Hillary Clinton? What was the information, you ask? Well, the intelligence community assessment's generic description of material Putin held back makes the reader unaware of significant information available to Moscow to denigrate Secretary Clinton. This violated ICD 203 directives that analysis be informed by all relevant information available, given the documents leaked during the election were far less damaging to Secretary Clinton than those Putin chose not to leak. So, again, what were the documents? Well, Putin had information that Clinton's health was extraordinarily alarming to President Obama and party leaders. They also had intelligence and details of secret meetings by State Department reps. So if you recall correctly, back to the 2015-2016 timeframe along the election where Hillary Clinton is picked up and thrown into the back of a van, Hillary's health was a huge topic of discussion. You remember the loogie that she spit into that glass? That video went viral over and over and over again. Again, the video going viral where she was basically thrown by Secret Service into the back of a van as she collapsed. Yeah, I think that information would have been alarming to the public and would have favored Trump. Yet Russia, who apparently chose to back Trump, withheld that information. Weird. There's a lot more coming out, and we're going to be covering it all day long here on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. The Obama campaign, I keep saying campaign, the Obama camp, their spokesperson has put out a statement calling the Spygate allegations absurd and ridiculous, yet not really denying any of the accusations. Just calling them absurd. Donald Trump shooting back, saying we've caught them all. Yesterday, he was at the Oval Office. There was a big meeting, a reception with congressional members, and Donald Trump saying, listen, the hottest person in the room right now is Tulsi Gabbard, with what she's been exposing at a grand scale, what the Democrats did. This was Trump last night at that reception with members of Congress.
Director of National Intelligence. Oh, where's Tulsi? She's like hotter than everybody. She's the hottest one in the room right now because she found out with certainty. I think we knew it before, in all fairness, Tulsi, but now you have certainty. She has all the documents. She has everything that you need. And she found out that Barack Hussein Obama led a group of people and they cheated in the elections, and they cheated without question. It's not even a quote. Would you say there's even a little question there, Tulsi? She says no.
She says no. The Shady Bunch silver bracelets are currently being measured and fitted for all of them, I'm sure. Now, again, all of this information is going to go to Pam Bondi, and then it's going to go to Pam Bondi's desk. Nothing ever gets misplaced from Pam Bondi's desk. So we'll have an investigation and charges shortly, I can only assume. We'll keep you updated as more information becomes available. And it does seem like this story is developing and developing very fast. Tulsi Gabbard promising more receipts. Again, should they become available, we'll break it for you right here on Super Talk immediately. As the news cycle continues, there are some news stories that aren't being paid attention to as much as they should be. For starters, let's talk about China, shall we? Can we talk about China? Does anybody want to talk about China? Mason.
China?
Yeah, Mason wants to talk about China.
China?
Everybody wants to talk about China.
China.
All right, what do we want to know about China?
China
Well, China-backed hackers used Microsoft flaw in attacks, defenders say. This story is from, who is this from? I believe it's from the New York Times. Researchers say that Chinese and other criminal hackers have exploited a security flaw in SharePoint software widely used by governments and businesses and may come back. Joseph Men and Ellen Nakashima have the story. Hackers connected to the Chinese government were behind at least some of the widespread attacks in the past few days on organizations that use collaboration software from Microsoft. Defenders working on the intrusions said in interviews. The breaches in the United States and other countries took advantage of a disastrous security flaw that drew attention this month after Microsoft issued a patch that fixed only part of the problem in SharePoint, which is widely used to coordinate work on documents and projects. They say that we assess that at least one of the actors responsible for this early exploitation is a China Nexus threat actor. That's Charles Carmichael, Chief Technology Officer of Google's Mandiant Consulting. Another researcher who, like others, spoke under the condition of anonymity because the inquiry is still underway, said federal investigators have evidence of U.S.-based servers linked to compromised SharePoint systems connecting to Internet protocol addresses inside China on Friday and Saturday. The FBI, the White House, the Department of Homeland Security, Cybersecurity, and Infrastructure Security Agency has declined to comment as of Monday. Two other responders working within the U.S. government said that they had identified early attacks from China as well. The Chinese embassy in Washington did not immediately respond to a request for comment. These attacks allowed hackers to extract cryptographic keys from servers run by Microsoft clients. Those keys, in turn, would let them install anything, including backdoors that they could use to return. Federal and state agencies were affected, researchers previously told the Washington Post, but it remains unclear which of them were vulnerable to follow-up attacks. Only versions of SharePoint that are hosted by the customer, not those in the cloud, are vulnerable. Microsoft issued effective patches for the last of the exposed versions by Monday. But while installing those patches should prevent new intrusions, customers also need to change the machine's digital keys, apply anti-malware software, and hunt for any breaches that have already occurred, Microsoft said. So it just seems like this is a huge headache. China, once again, getting where they shouldn't be because of just lax security, it seems. And it seems like that's a recurring theme when it comes to our security and the Chinese. We got another story here. Dual citizen busted for stealing missile detection trade secrets. Breitbart has this. Again, another U.S.-Chinese dual citizen. What could go wrong? Chengguang Gong. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Does that sound right?
One more go, please.
Chengguang Gong.
Yeah, I think that's right. Nailed it.
Chenguang. Chengguang.
No, I can't spell.
Chengguang. Chengguang.
Hold on. I think he says it.
To be just to be.
I'm going to pronounce it. Shanga Kawawa.
I missed the Kawawa.
Yeah, Shanga Kawawa.
Shanga Kawawa.
Actually,
we need to make T-shirts like that. Shanga Kawawa.
It says here though,
all no spaces, all one word.
No, it says here the Kawawa is silent.
Oh. Sorry, I missed that part.
I'll be honest with you, like I really do give this like a good old try every time I get one of these names. Like, dude, I'm not just trying to butcher it. Like, I'm giving it my best.
We should make it a new flavor at some joint. Shangakawa.
For a limited time only.
Shangakawawa.
For a limited time only. Shangguanggong.
Oh, I love that flavor at Baskin Robbins.
Yeah, this Shangguang is a little bit spicy for me.
It's that hot honey flavor.
Yeah. So anyway, Mr. Hot Honey got busted stealing missile secrets.
Oh, a little explosive there.
From the Hot Honey unit. All right, enough joking aside.
Anyways,
Mr. Kawawa.
It's silent.
Shangguang Gong, 59-year-old resident of San Jose, has pled guilty on Monday to stealing missile tracking technology from a research and development firm in the Los Angeles area. The Department of Justice described Gong as a dual citizen of the United States and China. He came to the United States around 1993, became a U.S. citizen in 2011. He earned a Master of Science degree in electrical engineering from Clemson and has done Ph.D. work at Stanford. But what we learn time and time again with these Chinese national dual citizens is that they really do hold their allegiance to one nation and one nation only. Spoiler alert, not America. He was hired by the unnamed research and development group in January of 2023 as an application-specific integrated circuit design manager responsible for the design, development, and verification of its infrared sensors. 3 months after he was hired, Gong allegedly began downloading thousands of files from his work computer to a personal storage device. Many of those files contain proprietary data and trade secrets, including details of a space-based system for detecting missile launches and tracking hypersonic weapons. The company Gong took the files from was also involved with designing sensors that allow American military aircraft to detect and defeat heat-seeking missiles. Gong was terminated by the victim company in April 2023. By that time, he had evidently accepted a job at a competing company, but was still downloading sensitive files to his personal storage devices. So he worked for not one, but two companies where he's stealing trade secrets. DOJ said the data he downloaded was worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Investigators digging into Gong's background discover he applied to Communist China's talent programs on numerous occasions between 2014 and 2022, during which time he worked for several major technology companies in the United States. What could go wrong? What could go wrong? China has several initiatives for aggressively recruiting foreign technology experts. The most infamous is the 1,000 Talents program. U.S. intelligence and law enforcement agencies say the talent programs have often been used to recruit espionage agents and steal valuable intellectual property for China. Again, these dual citizens, they don't hold allegiance to America. They're going to hold allegiance to China. It's just the reality of the situation. Gong traveled to China several times to seek talent program funding in order to develop sophisticated analog to digital converters. In his talent program applications, Gong underscored that the high-performance analog to digital converters he proposed to develop in China had military applications, the DOJ noted. He wanted to work with the Chinese military. He was begging to work with the Chinese military. They gave him the opportunity to, and he used that opportunity to steal trade secrets on missile detection systems. Nice. Why are we allowing this? It seems like we're allowing this. And this dual citizenship, you got to look at all these dual citizens, all of them. Because you see some of these stories and you wonder, wow, this scam really is massive. And there's a scam that was going on in California where you had these Chinese nationals, this Chinese couple in California. They were gaming the surrogate system. Have you heard this story? It's insane. Absolutely insane. 6 women came forward claiming that they all carried children through surrogacy for a Chinese couple in California. And it was revealed recently that this Chinese couple had 21 children, 17 of which are under the age of 3. They were gaming the surrogacy system so that way they could have U.S. citizen children. And then they were sending the U.S. citizen children, who were also dual Chinese nationals, back to China, where they would be raised as Chinese, but they would keep that Chinese, the U.S. citizenship.
Interesting.
And then they could come back and do all sorts of nefarious things. At least that's how I game plan it out in my head. Investigators are still looking at this, but Zhang, Juan and Zhang, Zhen, what is the X? Is the X is a Z.
It's like a Z.
Zhen.
Yeah.
And Zhang. That's confusing because Zhang is a Z.
I'll leave the name pronunciation to you.
Thanks. They were arrested in May on suspicion of child endangerment and neglect after a 2-month-old baby under their care was brought into a local hospital with a traumatic brain injury. They were released. Charges have not been filed, but a warrant is out for the arrest of their nanny, Chunmi Lee, who investigators say is the main suspect in the child abuse case. But the child abuse case led them down this rabbit hole where they find out that this couple in California was using this surrogacy company to have a lot of babies at the exact same time. And all of these women started coming forward about this same couple. One woman in Virginia is currently carrying a child for the same couple and told the outlet that she's concerned for the child's future. She's due on October 1st. Another woman in Pennsylvania is also currently carrying a child for the couple. Yet another woman in Los Angeles gave birth in March, while another gave birth in both 2022 and 2024. Elliot, a Texas mother of 4, said she wanted to carry a baby for the childless couple because she really enjoyed being pregnant. And then she found out it seemed strange because she goes to the hospital to deliver the baby, and the mom didn't show up. Instead, it was the father who said that the mom had a stomach bug, and don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. She's like, that seems odd. The New York Post said that the couple has said that they want to have as many children as possible. So then this woman came forward, and she showed up for the embryo transfer. She met the dad. She didn't meet the couple. She thought that was weird. She then said that after she gave birth to the baby girl, a young Chinese woman came to collect the baby. The woman that came to get the baby wasn't equipped with a car seat, showed no joy. She was like, this is really a bunch of red flags. And a lot of these women are trying to get these babies back, saying it's devastating. This surrogacy company has been since shut down and renamed, but it's really a weird story and really makes you question birthright citizenship in this country and how it could be gamed by our enemies. This, to me, seems like this is being used to our enemies' advantage tenfold. Insane story, one that we'll keep our eyes on. It's 11:23. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for my friend Shane Ring over at Cover Nash. And if you're tired of sky-high health insurance costs, you're not alone. But if you call Shane, you could be saving some big money real fast. Now, there's a common misconception in health insurance, like, yeah, I can save money. I'll wait. I'll get there. Open enrollment's a few months away. That's a misconception. You don't have to wait for open enrollment to switch your health insurance and start saving money today. In fact, Shane can get you access to a brand new plan that's on the market that will bring your deductible down to just $250. You heard me right. Not $5,000, not $8,000, just $250. The best part, Shane can help you switch today. See, Shane's been doing this for over 20 years. He's going to shop the entire market for you, over 75 different companies, to find the best fit for your budget and your health needs. So whether you're self-employed or between jobs or just plain old overpaying for coverage, Shane can easily save you 30 to 60% on your monthly premiums today. Stop overpaying. Call Shane Ring, 615-465-0023, or you can hit the website, covernash.com. I'm more of a phone call guy, 615-465-0023. That's the number to call, or hit the website, covernash.com.
Got an injury crash, Haywood Lane, just east of Hopedale Drive here in Nashville. And brain-eating amoeba has taken the life of a South Carolina swimmer. We'll tell you about that story and more at 11:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
A brain-eating amoeba?
Yes, sir.
Doesn't sound like a good way to go.
No, it does not.
Sounds pretty painful.
It looks like it could be.
Yeah. That's not a way I would choose to go out.
No, sir.
Yeah, I'd have different choices.
Yeah, if I had my druthers, it'll be in the middle of sleep.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Optimal.
I mean, I would assume there's worse ways to go.
Yeah.
That's pretty high on the list.
It's like I'm not afraid of dying.
No.
It's the process.
Yes, I like that. It's not the dying part. It's the way I do it.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't mind the destination. I'm just not a fan of the journey going through it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Something quick. Give me something quick.
Yeah.
I don't think amoeba is quick.
Oh, absolutely not.
It sounds slow.
Yeah. They're not known for expediency.
Yeah, I've never heard of anybody describe an amoeba as fast.
No.
Quick moving.
Yeah.
Slow and you can't even see them.
Ugh. That's awful.
It is.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
No. All that kind of the brain-eating bacteria, the flesh-eating bacteria.
Yeah, that flesh-eating bacteria. I don't want any part of that either.
No, it sounds awful.
Because that one doesn't even get you. It just hurts.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You'll wish it. You'll wish it would
Yeah.
get you at a certain point, I'm sure. A lot to talk about today on the show. We've been covering what's happening behind the scenes with Tulsi Gabbard and Donald Trump. It does seem like this is evolving very, very quickly. A lot of people reporting on the new documents that Tulsi Gabbard has put out this morning, highlighting that Russia did have information that would hurt Hillary Clinton. And if Russia had a preference for Donald Trump, why didn't you release the information that would have hurt Hillary Clinton, specifically around her health? That Russia did have some information on Hillary Clinton's poor health, and they decided not to let it go. The IC community concluded that Obama himself ordered the new assessment and that it was abnormally handled by Obama's intelligence head and just 5 selected CIA analysts. It does seem like Tulsi Gabbard is saying there is a smoking gun. Look at these documents. Will anyone in the media give a thorough dive into these documents? Probably not on your mainstream networks. But, luckily, the mainstream media has died, and the internet is taking hold of this and covering it bigly. We're going to be covering this story all day long here on Super Talk 99.7 WTN as new information becomes available. And on the way, we have all the stories that we didn't have a chance to get into today on the show in the lightning round. It's going to be a good one. I have. Did you see the video that's going viral of the young black man who, he couldn't get out of his car?
Yeah.
And so he got beat up by police.
Yeah.
It's an interesting case of narrative versus reality.
Yes, sir.
And that's going to kick us off in the lightning round when we get back. It's 11:31 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
$11:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top story. More heat and humidity today. We might get one of those cooling off showers or thunderstorms. We'll have to see. Full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Right now in a courtroom in Idaho, the murderer of 4 students, Brian Koberger, facing the families of his victims ahead of sentencing.
We know the law allows us to comment on the defendant and his sentence. As for his sentence, we support the plea agreement. Society needs to be protected against this evil. As for the defendant, we will not waste the words.
Scott Laramie, Maddie Mogan's stepfather. Koberger is expected to get 4 consecutive life sentences after entering a guilty plea to avoid the death penalty. That's Brian Koberger. War in Gaza update. Tommy Sufa Burridge says starvation and malnutrition escalating as Hamas refuses to accept a ceasefire unless Israeli forces withdraw.
They are saying that there is a bottleneck. The Israeli government is trying to shift some of the blame onto the UN itself for what they say is a bottleneck. I mean, I think that aid agencies, having spoken to them extensively throughout the war, would argue that part of the reason they can't just quickly get the aid once it goes into Gaza and distribute it very quickly is because of the conflict itself. I mean, is the Israeli military currently controls about 80% of the Gaza Strip. There is fighting, there are strikes.
U.S. Special Envoy to the Middle East, Steve Witkoff, traveling to Europe for meetings on a Gaza ceasefire. Right now in South Carolina, doctors say a patient in a children's hospital has died of a brain-eating amoeba, likely picked up while swimming in a lake, Lake Murray, there in South Carolina. It's the first known case in the state since 2016. These infections occur when forceful water gets up the nose and is able to cross into the brain. This is while you're swimming in freshwater lakes, rivers, and hot springs where the amoeba thrives. Earlier this year, a Texas woman died from an infection caused by the brain-eating amoeba after she used tap water from her RV and a nasal irrigation device. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Weather can change in an instant, and you need to be prepared for any outcome. That's why Generator Supercenter of Nashville will help keep your family safe and connected. We make buying a backup generator simple and easy, with financing options available, free in-home estimate, turnkey installations, no worry warranty, and most importantly, the monitoring and service of your fully installed generator. Come see us at our location in Nashville or visit us online. Generator Supercenter of Nashville. We serve all Middle Tennessee.
11:38, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. Hey, how are you? Show's brought to you by our friends at Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. If you haven't done it yet, please head over to YouTube or Rumble, hit like and subscribe to our channel. We appreciate it when you do so. Help us get the biggest digital footprint that we can on the radio station. We appreciate it. Without further ado, it's our favorite segment of the day. We like to call it the Lightning Round.
It's the Lightning Round with Chris Hand.
Yeah, we'll try and run through all the stories that we didn't have a chance to get to, as well as ones that wouldn't fill up a whole segment. Any last-minute hot takes that you got on anything we discussed today or anything we didn't discuss today, feel free to weigh in during the Lightning Round, 615-737-9986. You're quick on the Lightning today, aren't you, man? I like it. First story in the Lightning Round. We're gonna call this narrative versus reality, and it always seems to happen this way. If you believe the narrative, well, you get brainwashed by the leftist echo chamber. There's a video that was going viral on the internet a couple days ago, and a young black man in his vehicle got pulled over by police. He's doing nothing wrong. Next thing you know, the evil officer smashes through the window and punches him in the mouth, and then they take him out of the car and they throw him to the ground. They arrest him, and everybody's up in arms. How could this keep happening in 2025? We learned nothing from George Floyd, yada, yada, yada. You understand where the conversation online goes. So this is the video that went viral, and originally how people saw it without the context of the reality.
When he pulled me over, he walked up, opened my door because my window don't work, right? Okay. And then I said, so what I did wrong? Yeah.
Okay, so now just for starters, as you've probably noticed, the video that went viral starts mid-conversation with an officer. You can see an officer behind him outside the driver's side window. He's conversating with the officer outside the passenger window. Continue.
He said, well, for one, your headlights are off under this weather. I'm like, okay. There's multiple people headlights off, first of all. And then there's no rain.
It doesn't matter. You're still required to have headlights on.
Can you pull that law up?
Huh?
Can you pull that law up?
Yeah, when you step out of the car, I will.
Can you call your supervisor? Huh? Can you call your supervisor?
All right, go for it.
Window gets smashed.
Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle.
Got a punch to the face.
Here.
And then he gets pulled out of the car, gets hit a couple more times.
I'm here.
And gets arrested.
What is your reason, sir? What is your reason?
Still not cooperating.
No, don't.
Even now, get on the ground. He says no. He says no. Got it. Okay. So the narrative is that the police are evil, and this guy was just driving along and got pulled over for no reason and was harassed. Got it? Okay. Now, the fun part is the reality, okay? This is when narrative meets reality. We get footage from the police department, and you'll remember it's the same individual that you just saw in the video before. If you're watching on the stream, you're seeing all the video to go along with it. But this is the added context of the police body camera. So in the immediate aftermath of being pulled over, an officer is walking up to the vehicle, and the driver slings his door open. This is where we start the video.
Yes, sir.
Is there a reason why you're popping the door open like that?
I don't have a window that works. Is there a reason that you're pulling me over?
Yeah, absolutely there's a reason why I'm pulling you over. For one thing, inclement weather, you don't have your lights on. Two things, you're not wearing your seatbelt.
It's daylight. I don't need the lights. And it's not weather. It's not raining.
So it took 20 seconds. He's already back talking to the police officer. Got it? 20 seconds in, he's already being combative.
It's not raining.
Okay, I'm not arguing with you. I'm telling you why I'm pulling you over. Give me your driver's license, registration, proof of insurance.
No,
30 seconds in, give me your license and registration. No. We're not even 30 seconds in. We're 28 seconds into this. He's being combative with the officer and refusing to give his license and registration. At this point, he decides to close his driver's side door.
Call your supervisor.
Call your supervisor.
Call your supervisor.
Step out of the vehicle.
No.
Step out of the vehicle.
Step out of the vehicle, no, and he closes the door. You understand how the narrative that goes viral online is not the reality. And wait, this officer is very patient. There's another minute of tape here where the officer is saying, please step out of the car.
25 seconds. For 9-4, the driver just slammed the door and locked it.
Call your supervisor.
You can hear him yelling, "Call your supervisor" from the
I
car.
already told you. Right now, you're under arrest for resisting.
So he's already informed him, you shut the door, you're resisting, you're going to be under arrest.
That is the last warning to open the vehicle and exit before we're going to break the window.
That was number 1. Exit the vehicle, we're going to break the window.
Open the door and exit, or we are going to break the window. Open the door and exit, or we are going to break the window. Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting. Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting. Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting. Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting. I'm about to break the window.
I mean, the what went viral online was not the reality of what happened. It's just not. Always give the police the benefit of the doubt until the video comes out and proves that they're wrong, man. I never take these driver videos serious. Take it with a grain of salt. You're seeing one side of the story. Take the other side with a grain of salt too, if you want to, by all means. But wait until you get all the information before you dive in and call police evil. 7 times this guy was said, step out of the car. You're under arrest. Step out of the car or I'm going to break the window. 7 times. Oh, the evil police. Evil police. I got another news story here in the lightning round. Ooh, that was quick. You weren't even looking at the computer screen. You were ready to go.
Getting better.
Getting better. All right, so this one's going to need a little bit of translation, okay? There's a reporter in Brazil, okay? Let me set the scene for you. There's a reporter in Brazil. They're reporting on the disappearance of a 13-year-old girl. Sad story. They're making the case that she was lost in this river, and he's making the case about how deep the water is. Okay, so this reporter goes out into the river to demonstrate, just kind of like how it falls off, right? Like you're walking 3 feet, and then boom, before you know it, it's up to your chest. So he goes all the way out in this river, and this is live on TV in Brazil, and then, as he's reporting on the missing body, the missing 13-year-old girl, he steps on something.
Acima do meu peito, para você ver a situação. Se eu andar pouquinho aqui, deixa eu ver aqui. Ó, vou andar mais. Ó a fundura aqui, ó.
Ui. Ui. And he just runs. He gets out of the water as fast as he can. It was during this scene that the reporter stepped on the body of the 13-year-old girl. Jeez, that's I would have got completely out of the water. I would have ran, and I probably would have let out more of a high-pitched scream than that. He said he stepped on something that he felt like an arm. It was Lenlido Frazio reporting from the Miram River in Brazil. The victim, Raisa, was later found in that exact same spot where the reporter stepped. Whew. I mean, that's creepy. Is that not? That's creepy.
That would have sketched me out so much.
I would have been like, that's it. My mother-in-law was right. I'm going into accounting.
No more reporting for me.
This is a dream. I'm hanging it up. Yeah, that's too much. Too spooky for me, man. Too spooky for me. Got another story for you here in the lightning round. This one was getting some steam yesterday, but we missed it. President Trump threatening to block the Washington Redskins stadium deal if they don't return to the name Redskins. It may be the best thing ever, and I'm here for it. Huge fan. President Donald Trump posted on Sunday and followed up about the Washington Redskins name, saying, "My statement on the Washington Redskins has totally blown up, but only in a very positive way. I may put a restriction on them that if they don't change the name back to the original Washington Redskins and get rid of the ridiculous moniker Washington Commanders, I won't make a deal for them to build a stadium in D.C. Oh, please do it. Please do it. Let's bring back the Redskins names, and let's also bring back the Cleveland Indians while we're at it. We named these teams after symbols of strength, not symbols of weakness. We don't name any teams after symbols of weakness. It's an absolute mess. And I forget who I was listening to. I was listening to somebody, and it was Brian Wilson. It was Brian Wilson on Monday when he filled in for me. He said, if you're going to change the name of the Washington Redskins, how about you change the name of Oklahoma?
Yeah. He did talk about that Monday.
Home of the Redskins.
Yep.
Yeah. Racist state. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. I'm a huge fan of bringing back the Redskins name. I actually have a Redskins jersey.
Just make it bigger Texas.
Bigger Texas.
Get rid of Oklahoma.
Yeah, extra Texas.
Extra
What?
Texas Plus.
Texas Plus. Texas Max.
Shanga Kawawa.
Shanga Kawawa. All right, I got another story for you in the lightning round. You give the guy some props for being quick on the lightning a couple times.
No, I gotta can't exceed expectations here.
No, we can't.
Gotta control the narrative a little bit.
A couple people have talked about this fire aid. Questions are being raised about fire aid. The concert that was put on to raise money for the downtrodden victims of the Palisades fire, the most expensive real estate in Los Angeles. How will they ever rebuild? Everybody was so fearful for that. So they put on a big concert, raised $100 million for the downtrodden elites in the Palisades in California. And they raised $100 million, and then none of the money goes to anyone. No, it's essentially like Black Lives Matter donations at this point. It's just they're not going to improve any Black lives, and none of the fire aid money is going to improve any of the fire related damage. The star-studded bill for the benefit concert, held on 2 separate stages, raised a massive sum, but many residents of the Pacific Palisades and Malibu and of Altadena and Pasadena say they have not benefited. There have been 2 significant local investigations by local news outlets, each of which came to different, though not necessarily contradictory, conclusions about fire aid's money. The first was ABC affiliate KABC7 concluded that the money was being well spent on organizations. Roughly 120 organizations split $50 million when the first round of fire aid funds was released in February. 7 on Your Side tried reaching out to every single one of them and heard back from more than 50 to find out how the money is being used. The Pasadena Humane Society spent $250,000 from fire aid to treat and house pets burned and left homeless by the flames. Heal the Bay received $100,000 and used it to test for contaminants along our coast. However, circling the news, as highlighted by Fox affiliate KTTV, found that few victims had benefited. The benefit concert might be one of the biggest scams in disaster fundraising history, independent journalist James Lee said on X. Thanks to Lee and Sue Pasco, an investigative journalist for Circling the News, we now know that fire aid funds have not gone directly to residents, but instead to nonprofits selected by a charity based on the other side of the country. As Pasco reports, the Annenberg Foundation was tasked with managing the fire aid funds. Pasco emailed the organization asking how much of the funds were spent specifically for the Palisades and which nonprofits in that community are receiving the money. He didn't get a reply, and no one answered when she called several times on many of the company's extensions. However, when Pasco spoke with Wallace, she was shocked to learn that the fire aid proceeds would not go to residents affected by the devastating fires. Instead, the money would be distributed to several nonprofits affiliated with the Annenberg Foundation. Yes, the money raised by the Palisades Benefit Fire will go to leftist nonprofit organizations. It's good. It's good. No big deal, right? That's fine. Hey, what are you going to do, right? Did anybody really expect any of this money to go to fire victims in the first place?
No.
Never saw that happen.
Not at all.
No. Did anybody realistically believe that? I don't think so.
I doubt it.
No. So if you were one of those people that said none of this money's going to go there, well, all it took was a few months and it was confirmed to be true. None of that money went to any of the victims of the wildfires.
Obviously.
It's 11:52. That does it for the lightning round. We'll check in with Chad Benson, see what's coming up next on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. 11:57, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I'm Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. Chad Benson's in studio. We did a lot on the show today. We learned a lot.
Learning's good.
We learned that Mason, he's been fabricating who he is to us for pretty much the entire time we've known him. His name's not even Mason.
What is it?
Sam.
Sam.
We learned that today.
Wow.
I know.
That is crazy.
And then apparently, this is a common theme in the South where people are just going by middle names willy-nilly.
So his name is Mason Sam or Sam Mason?
His name is Sam Mason.
Sam Mason.
And
Samuel Mason Fleming.
And all of his brothers, it's the same thing. Nobody goes by the first name.
Nope.
And it was intentional.
Yep.
Okay.
Very confused.
You know something else?
Yes.
Both my parents are from the West Coast.
Oh, is that how you guys kind of fit in here? You're like, all right, you guys got to go by your middle name. Or were you doing it when you were on the West Coast?
I grew up here, so I'm not sure. My parents moved here when like 5 years before I was born.
Mm.
So they probably heard it, and the families around them are like, I might try that.
You're one of those anchor transplants.
Yeah.
Look at that. Sam.
Sam. I know.
We should try, let's refer to, come on, you know Sam. Sam, he works here. Sam. He's a producer. Sam, you don't know Sam?
I might start doing that with the boss.
I'm just saying I can't wait to be an uncle.
What are you focusing on today? What's caught your attention?
I don't know. What you focus on?
I mean, I did a lot of things. I like the Obamagate stuff. I really do.
Yeah.
I get more and more excited the more that comes out. Tulsi Gabbard bringing new receipts today.
What were the newest receipts today?
That Russia had information about Hillary Clinton's health that they chose not to put out because that would have hurt her.
If that's Russia.
But the argument was that Russia interfered to help Trump.
Yes.
So if you have intelligence documents that say Russia held on to information to not hurt Hillary, you're saying that
they know that
Russia didn't want to hurt her?
Did they know? It's funny. I was watching Michael Schellenberger talk about this because he and Matt Taibbi dug into this because there are people out there that say they thought she was going to win and they wanted to weaken her. They didn't really think Trump was going to win. They were probably that waking up on that Moscow day going, are you kidding me? He won?
Well, that was everybody.
Yeah.
That wasn't just the Russians.
That wasn't just the Russians.
That was us too.
Wait,
what?
But, it's interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's all of that's interesting too. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're also talking about if you go and look at the language and the way that they did the same thing to Bernie, the Russians. And as far as, trying to help him, and while they didn't go after him like that, it was the same kind of thing, and they framed it the same way, except they didn't do the investigation.
I just want to see how far they go.
Yeah, that's going to be the curiosity thing, right?
I'll get real excited once Seth Rich's name starts popping up in the news cycle again.
Oh, Seth Rich.
Wouldn't you get a little bit hyped?
There's an oldie.
That's an oldie, but it's a goodie. Chad Benson's in next. It's 12 o'clock.